that looks better like that. I was drawing zombies, zombonis, zamboonies, zimboninonos, zambanoonies, zimbamanaboonies, zam zim zimom bazam zam zoom bees zombies bo bombies banana fana fo fombies fee fi mo mombies zombies. Oh, were you, Ewan? That's bloody a thing. I wanted to draw like, it happens so often. I wanted to draw like a cool, like, 3 zombies running, do it in like bright pinks and then the black outlines and shit and, white fabric so it contrasts, man. But as happens so often, I get like this one done and I'm like, that's cool, I can work with that. The arm's a bit, but and I do this one and I'm like, oh no, that's shit. I'm not. And I really do this that I showed off in a recent video, which I've decided I will remake this in a black and white format. I'll get it printed as I get my normal comics printed, so it's a kind of good quality, but just black and white drawings and stuff. I think it would be really funny. And I'm still debating on, do I make it but as I'd make it now, so make sure all the text is better, the story makes sense as much as it can for being about a giant rat with an ear on its back, or do I remake it completely with all the shitty ideas and dialogue but the drawings are good? So I'm debating that. We'll see how that goes. But I really appreciate everyone's comments. The video got quite a lot of comments about saying, oh, even your shit drawings are better than the drawings I can do, or you and you're being too hard on yourself, blah 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 blah. I completely, I'm so glad for that. It's very affirming to me. It's nice to hear. But obviously, I look at it from, I feel I know what works visually for me. Like, there's images I want to create that I want to look a certain way, and you all know the same. If you don't achieve that, at least the level that you're aiming for or close to it, you get annoyed with yourself. And I think at the time, this probably was what I was aiming for. But now, it's over 10 years old. Of course I'm going to think badly about it. But I think it'll be the same sort of thing of, you might look at this and go, oh yeah, sort of a chunky guy who's a zombie, that doesn't look bad, Ewan. But I don't know, there's just something about it that it's like distorted from what I saw in my head. So I'm displeased with it for that reason. And then I drew like this, I don't know, just big-headed. It looks like a cross between a pumpkin and almost like a bride. I gave it like strands of hair, but it looks like a bride's veil. So I don't know. And then I started drawing a little zombie, and I didn't fully intend to, but sort of half intended to make it look like, I guess, a dwarf zombie. Is that politically correct? Dwarf? Is that the term? I know it's little person is like the thing to call them. But is dwarf okay? Because it's dwarfism is like that's where dwarves come from in the fantasy genre. They come from little people. I think a dwarf, I guess if I say dwarf zombie, you probably think like fucking, Gimli, big beard, weapons and shit, axes and hammers, which is perfectly reasonable. That's fair, and that would probably be better actually. I read it a couple of times. It's quite enjoyable. I forget what it's called, but it's essentially Viking zombies, which is, that's two huge check marks in the stuff Ewan likes boxes or whatever. A bit more pink in there. Oh, smudged the pen, ruined everything. Um, yeah, and that's a really good book. That, like, zombies that are also vital. It's more actually it's set in like Viking times, and there happens to be some kind of zombie plague going around, and it follows this band of zombies and this little boy who gets mixed up with them. Lots of, I guess, not intentional but sort of inadvertent similarities to Gun Viking, but Gun Viking doesn't really. It has zombies a little bit, but not. But yeah, that's a good book. I enjoyed that. Zombies. I loved zombies, man. I got a big fat boner, a collection of zombie films, from like way back. Fucking the original Night of the Living Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead, which kind of stinks. I watched. Everyone's seen the Dawn of the Dead remake. Is it Zack Snyder? Oh, Zack Snyder, who did the Snyder Cut. The Justice League. God, shut up. Ooh, superheroes. Wow, how exciting. But yeah, I think it was Zack Snyder who did that Dawn of the Dead remake in 2004 or 6 or something. And that was really, really good. That had running zombies, which was like one of the first times they were really on screen. And then 28 days later, in which they're not zombies, in 28 days later, they're infected with rage. They're not people who have died and then come back to life to eat the living. They're just infected with rage and they attack people. They act in a similar way to zombies, but they're not strictly zombies. That's one of the few things I get really dickish about. Like, for the most part, like with my art and stuff, you can say my art's shit and I'll go, yeah. Unless I know in particular it's really not. But in general, I don't give a shit. But then if you start saying, oh, like the zombies in 28 Days Later, there's just something in my brain that just can't, it doesn't switch off. It won't flip into, yeah, mode. It stays in, no, they're not fucking zombies mode. Which irritates me. And I feel like if I ever hear someone talk about the zombies in 28 Days Later, I have to like take a minute, do some deep breathing exercises, walk away from the situation. Otherwise, I know it's going to come out of like, even if it's quiet, if it's me just stood with like some food or a drink in front of my mouth, just quietly going, they're not zombies in 28 Days Later. Because they're not. They're just humans infected with rage. They're not corpses that are eating the living. They're, come on, people. Use your fucking brains. What are you, a zombie? So that's relevant. But I saw, like anyone else, one of the earliest zombie films I saw was that Dawn of the Dead remake, which is really, really good. As far as like remaking a film goes and having it be running zombies, which is quite controversial in like the zombie community or whatever. I feel a sneeze coming on. I apologise if I... Oh, God. Ugh. Sneezing is not fun. Yeah, some people think zombies shouldn't be able to run. Some people think running zombies are better than... Personally, I'm completely okay with running zombies as long as you adhere to... Oh, I've got to blow my nose. I'm sorry. Ooh. There was a lot of solid matter in that one. That was needed. I'm completely okay with running zombies as long as you adhere to general zombie rules in that, sure, if someone's freshly zombified, if you've got like... Because, it's the infection that turns you into that kills you and then turns you into a zombie. So if you just get bitten on the neck or the leg, but you manage to escape being like eaten, So you get bitten, you push the zombie away, you run off, lock yourself in a room, and whatever. Then the fever from the bite kills you. Shortly after, you come back as a zombie. You bash your way out of the room, and you're out. Then run. You can run because you've got all your facilities intact physically. You've got all your muscles and stuff still. But then if you've been a zombie for quite a while and your body parts are all withered away and you're basically skin and bone, then like anything, you should you run your move slower and slower based on the deterioration of your zombie body. I think that's how that would best work. But at the same time, I think it makes sense that not all zombies would run. Some would have like the instinct to run and get their prey, and then some shamblers. So there's some sort of variation in the zombies, which is a good idea, I feel. So, but of course, if you've got a film in which the zombies run, it does make sense to focus on the running zombies, because the shamblers would be sort of off in the background somewhere doing who gives a shit, whatever. That makes sense to me. So I saw the Snyder cut of Dawn of the Dead, which, like I say, really, really good, impressive, fun zombie movie. I like how different it is from the original, which I hadn't seen, at first, but even so, I like that it's not just, a scene-for-scene copy of the original Dawn of the Dead, the classic George Romero, 1970s, Birdie. It absolutely has its own sort of life and character to it. And I like, for the most part, the, the characters and their interactions and stuff. Because a lot of it is that. It's them surviving in the shopping mall. And shit. My fucking God. I swear I've been fine for... I don't know the last time actually I had to fucking blow my nose and worry about sneezing and shit. I've been fine all day, and now I sit down... But yeah, then I got into zombies more, started collecting and watching zombie movies and stuff. And the original Dawn of the Dead, it doesn't suck. It's good, and it's seminal, and it was of its time, and it's good for what it is, and but it's long and it's hard to sit through, man. Because and that's kind of the point, is them being in the mall. It is them surviving over a whatever period of time, and but it is long and difficult to sit through. So I prefer the remake for that, at least. Was there a point to this? There might have been a point to this. Is there a point to any of this? No. Let's all give up and lay down. Fucking Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy style. Let's all just give up and have a lie down. But zombies, I loved them so much. They were like one of my favourite things for the longest time. I wrote a 60-page zombie story, which I might have to dig it out and do another embarrassing video, because I tried to put like social commentary in it and like poignant bits about... There was... It was called Zombies on a Train. There's people on an underground train, I guess in London or whatever, and the train stops in between stops, like just in a tunnel, and the lights go out, and then there's like someone on board with the zombie virus, and they turn into a zombie and they bite one person, and chaos sparks, and then everyone runs to the end of the thing, and it's a whole thing. They get through the tunnels and whatever. And it follows sort of this one guy, and then but there's a couple of other characters in it. There's this kid in it who's just like a typical sort of teen kid listening to his iPod, man. This was written in like 2007 or something, so it's whatever. But I should do a video just cringing at it. But then, yeah, this one bit, oh God, it hurts to even think about it. So the kid gets bitten and they're out of the train. They get off the front of the train. They're walking down the tracks to the next stop in this little group, hoping, nothing happens. But then in that tunnel, the kid who's been bitten collapses. He's like about to die. And so the main character's like, it's okay, don't worry. And then the kid takes his iPod, looks at it, and then just throws it down the tracks because he's like, well, I don't need this anymore. And then the main character says something like, ooh, what a deep, significant meaning, like what a moment that is to have, realising that these possessions have no worth if you're about to die. Oh, mercy. What the fuck? And there was a few other bits like that. I think I even mentioned like the character being like, oh, and then he'd imagine this meaningful, sorrowful piece of music playing as he's walking down the tracks of the thing. And I was fucking like 18 or 19 or something. Like, I still think it's not a bad idea for like a short film or something. I think it would be quite cool. Probably fairly easy and inexpensive to make as well. So you just need like one train and a tunnel. It'd be a fun little zombie romp. There's one bit I still really like where I even drew it. I'll have to dig it out, find the art. So it had some illustrations with it, and one of the illustrations was like, this is floor, and then this is like a corridor, like in a subway station tunnel, and there's like an advertisement here with a woman advertising some perfume or something. Perfume bottle. Like an advertising poster on the wall, and then there was a big bloody smear here. And then the blood like dripped down the wall, and there's a puddle of blood and like guts and stuff on the floor, and then leading off, down the corridor or whatever. So like someone had been smacked up against the poster, blood come out, and they fell down to the ground and smeared blood all the way down it. And so the main character in the story just sees that as he's like running for his life, stops for a moment, sees that and laughs to himself like, it's got a beard, and then carries on. Which I think that's funny. Like, again, in a short film or something, that'd be a really funny little, like, the main character, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And he there's all blood and guts on the floor, and he sees intestines and shit here, and then he like looks up and stops for a moment like, she's got a beard. And then, he hears from behind him and goes, oh shit, fuck, and then continues running away. That'd be quite funny. That's what I find funny. How amusing. But now, I don't know, I think I wrote my end of year dissertation at university, my last like final big essay thing. I managed to do it about zombies, which I've probably mentioned before. But it was basically about the fact that zombies, there's too many of them now, which is, kind of the point. That's where zombies hold their power, is their numbers. But there's too much zombie stuff out there in like popular culture and stuff, and it's having a negative effect on zombies, on how scary they are or can be, because there's just too much of it that it's just become sort of plain and obvious. And if you're an amateur filmmaker making like a horror film, zombies are one of the easiest things to do because you only need a basic amount of makeup on the face and hands, some torn clothes, and then you have people walking around going, my brains. And then you've got yourself a horror monster for your movie. But because of that, it's been done so much and so often. And then The Walking Dead became hugely popular and then went on and on and on and on, just as the comic did. I've got a video about it, look it up. And then I just got sick of them. I just, And then World War Z. World War Z. How do I pronounce it? I say Z, I think, in general. World War Z. Anyway, let's take a look at an art book. Have you seen this? This guy, Scott Campbell. Forward by Neil Patrick. Fucking hell. Because I saw the back, like Morgan Spurlock, who did that movie about McDonald's making you fat. Edgar Wright, who directed, that's a coincidence, he directed Shaun of the Dead and those other films. But that was a complete unintentional tie-in. There you go. Seth Green, who is that ginger kid, I think. Neil Patrick Harris, everyone loves him. I had no idea there were so many celebrities involved. So Scott Campbell is an illustrator, and this book is an example of having a gimmick and making it work for you. Because boy howdy, does it work for him. I think these are basically actual size as well. I think he does do these pretty small. I've seen him sell prints of them. He has exhibitions of just these, and he's had like toys made of them, little statuettes, and then big statues of like some of the bigger monsters and things involved in these. And I've seen him signing prints, and their prints are this big. They're like actual size prints, and he's got stacks like this high, stacks and stacks of those prints that he's signing that are being sold, and it's just like, fuck. Must be making so much fucking money out of this. And like I say, he's an illustrator anyway. Beforehand, he was known, and he does more sort of extravagant, I guess, work. Still in this kind of style. That's his general style he has and uses. But he cottoned onto something that people like. There's something about this that people really latch onto and love. And I guess even celebrities love it. Morgan Spurlock loves this book, and I haven't even read these. I can't be fucked. I like pictures, not words. And so it's got to be so like... If I want to do something people like, my cartoon characters, I think, are the closest thing I've got to this, where I drew 30 cartoon characters in ballpoint pen, sold them. In general, people like them. They go, oh, that's my favourite cartoon character, I buy it. Stuff like this, he could probably do easily 2, 3 or 4 of these in a day. I'm not saying that's what he does. He probably spreads them out over time or whatever. Comes up with an idea, does a little doodle. Yeah, that'll work. Does it in watercolour, puts it online, sells it, whatever. And he's built this entire thing, and I think this is the first book of a collection of these, and he's got books and books of these now. But I thought it would be fun to go through and see how cultured I am or am not for how many of the films I can name. Maybe I'll do all of them, maybe I won't. But it's nice to look through it, because, and I think that's another reason people really like it, is in the same way that reference humour is really funny, is people going, oh, I get that, I like it, brilliant. And so people see this and go, I know what film that is, I like it, brilliant. And it's cute, smiley faces, you get it. So that's possibly... No, I don't think that's The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Is it the second one where he has the bulletproof vest underneath? A fist... what is it? It's a fistful of dollars, a few dollars more, and Good, the Bad and the Ugly. It's one of those, Clint Eastwood, cowboy, and he has like a metal plate under his poncho to deflect the bullet. So that's quite cool. He's done that. Ghostbusters, it goes without saying, doesn't it? I also like how his style has, even in this book, you see his style has been refined from how there's a lot more sort of like goofy and cartoony early on, and then a bit more refined, more sort of like obvious. His caricatures are actually really spot on. Like that's what's the guy's name? I know that's No Country for Old Men. Javier Bardem. Like that looks like the character in the film. It's really good, really well done. So I'm not. Part of me is like jealous and hateful because he's just got a gimmick and he just does it again and again and again and makes a shitload of money off of it. And it's not the money, but it's the fact that he can live off his artwork that easily. But again, he's already an illustrator. He has a body of work behind him. He's already known for doing things. Predator. 2001 Space Odyssey, The Chimps and the Obelisk. Indiana Jones. That's quite a funny scene where the guy whips out the sword and swings it around like he's going to attack. And then Indy pulls out his gun like pow and shoots him dead. Look at his face. Like this doesn't look like Indiana Jones. If you didn't know this was an Indiana Jones picture, that's just like cowboy guy. Because that's a really, really funny looking face. I really like that. But now you know it's an Indiana Jones thing. I don't know what that is. It might be The Exorcist. It's probably The Exorcist, isn't it? With her head backwards and the holy water. Yeah. Planet of the Apes. Blade Runner. The faces, man. He obviously did. At first, it was just draw, a guy in Blade Runner clothes, so you get the idea that it's Blade Runner. And then, later on, he added in the noses and stuff to make it look more like the characters, which is cool. I guess a Bruce Lee film. I don't know. I don't really know much about those films. I feel like I should know what this one is, but I'm not sure I do. Feel free to leave a comment saying, you fucking idiot, it's clearly this film. To me, that looks like Earl from My Name is Earl. I know it's not. I recognise the character, like the shirt and the hair and stuff. I just can't pinpoint. I don't think I've seen what that's from. That's... Is it The Princess Bride, or is it a film like that that's not that? I don't know. Is that Deliverance? The dueling banjos? It might not be. It might be something else. Taxi Driver, The Mirror. And obviously the whole thing is, if you probably already know the guy and his work, you follow him on Instagram, you see his stuff, whatever. But the premise is it's all the great showdowns from all of these movies, like the main, not the main, but like the person versus the person, the protagonist and the antagonist. And, she isn't necessarily the antagonist in the film, but it's a good showdown. So there are some pretty funny ones where it's like, well, that doesn't make sense. It's Taxi Driver versus, not Taxi Driver, Travis Bickle or whatever his name is, versus The Mirror with You Talking to Me. Dune, I think that might be. Never saw it. Alien, obviously. Train Spotting, where that's like the filthiest toilet in Scotland or whatever, and he goes in it and has a trippy sequence where he's underwater. Big Lebowski, Shining. Don't know what that one is, or what that one is. Not a clue. Not a fucking sausage of an idea. And I do like that he anthropomorphizes things that aren't people. So whatever, the truck or whatever, the wave with the smiley face. Which is funny as well because it's great showdowns, so it's person versus person, but they're all smiling, they're all happy, just taking their picture together or whatever. The glass shards from Die Hard, because he's barefoot and he gets his feet all cut up, and they're all smiley. Bruce Willis, that's quite funny. That's funny, isn't it? You've got Andy Dufresne and the wall that he chisels with the poster of the gal from Shawshank Redemption. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. E.T., obviously. It's quite funny that they've got the thing with the, as opposed to like a person and the thing. Tron, RoboCop, a smiley face. I don't know. Jason and the Argonauts or something. One of those films. Pee-wee's Playhouse or something. I just know Pee-wee. I don't know. Never seen those films or shows or anything. Oh, don't know what that is. Not a clue. Not a sausage. Not a Twinkie blink of an idea what that is. Not a clue. Fight Club, Tyler Durden, Jack, or Jack as he is in the film, Soap. That's quite good. That's quite a good one. Warriors, Matrix, obviously. Obvious. Big mouth on the. Spinal Tap, I think. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is at all. No idea. Now that's Snake Plissken, isn't it? Is it Escape from New York? And then Escape from LA or something? One of those? I don't know. Friday the 13th. Donnie Darko. That's quite cool. I like the bunny face on that one. Scarface with the cocaine. I like the cocaine with the smiley face. That's really funny. They Live. They got the guy in there, the Obey. That's obviously Schwarzenegger. Is that like one of the Alien film or like Predator films? I don't know. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. I don't know. I've not seen every film. Poltergeist, I think that is. Kill Bill. King Kong. The building with the face. Edward Scissorhands. Clockwork Orange. Birds. I like the birds' faces. There's something really charming and likeable about this art. And the fact that you can go through and go, I know this one and I know this one. And I'm not doing this to be like, look at all the films I know. I'm doing this to be like, oh, which films do I know? It's a fun activity. I've not got a fucking idea what that is. Carrie, the original, I guess, the only one really worth watching. No idea. I don't know what that is. Two fucking dames. I don't know. The One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The chief, and then the water thing that he tosses through the window and whatever. Back to the Future. The fan with a smiley face is cute. I feel like I should know that one. I recognise, but I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Titanic. That's a bit brutal, actually. You know, because it's a film, but also that happened. So that's like fucking hundreds and hundreds of dead people and the iceberg winking like whatever. Star Wars. Psycho. Big Trouble in Little China, I think. Kurt Russell, you like him? He's been in a couple of times. Why is she wearing Marty's outfit from Back to the Future? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Dirty Harry, I think. I think that's Dirty Harry. I think. It might not be, but I think that's what that is. Fargo, I believe. Gremlins. Jaws. The Day the Earth Stood Still, I think. Seven, that's pretty funny. The Box, Brad, Kevin Spacey, Morgan Freeman. That's quite a good one. That'll be Rosebud, wouldn't it? Citizen Kane. Oh fuck! I recognise. Is that? Oh, that's Captain Kirk. That's one of the Star Trek films. It might be the first Star Trek film. I don't know. Never seen a single one of them. I just know what they are. Halloween. Really, really like that. Love his face. His like wonky eyes. That's quite funny actually. Because that mask was originally a William Shatner mask that they like painted. So that's quite a funny because they're connected. I don't know. Whatever. Royal Tenenbaums. That's The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Definitely The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Oh, was that the bomb? And then he rides the bomb. It's not Dr. Strangelove, is it? It might be Dr. Strangelove. Or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Atomic Bomb. I think that's that. Ghost. Pulp Fiction. Rocky, one of the Rocky films. I've never seen any of them, but I'm aware. I'm aware. It's in the social pop culture zeitgeist. I know what it is. Time Bandits? ? Little People. I'm drawing one of them. Pig. I like the pig. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I kind of recognise some of it, but not quite. Dead body. I'm going to have to do my research, aren't I? Phantom of the Opera, I think, because of the mask. But I might be wrong. Morgan Spurlock, the guy from the Super Size Me. That's the one. Super Size Me. That's quite funny because that's a documentary. It's not like a film. But he's put him against the food, which made him fat. Brilliant. Labyrinth. Hannibal. Or is it Silence of the Lambs? I believe it'll be that one. Blues Brothers. I know them. I think I've seen one of those films. I don't know what that is. Not a clue what that is. Don't know. Do not know. Terminator 2, because he's the liquid metal man. Jurassic Park. That's quite funny. That's a funny... If you're going to do Jurassic Park, that's quite a funny one to do, because he spits on his face. Babe? Maybe? Shit. I've never seen that. I recognise this guy, but I don't know what the film is or whatever, so I lose on that one. The Wicked Witch of the Wizard of Oz. Night of the Living Dead. Hey, there you go. Classic. Night of the Living Dead. That's good. That's the guy. That looks like the guy. I guess that's the original one as well. The first one, you see the graveyard zombie or whatever. Bride of Frankenstein. Misery. Again, instead of have like the guy, because she breaks his ankles with the hobbling post, so he's got his feet and the sledgehammer. That's quite funny. Quite fun. It's a good film, that. Misery. Very good. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Never seen it, but don't know. Vaguely recognise this, but I don't know. I do not know. Oi. I know that's Office Space. Very funny movie. Office Space with the stapler. Fuck. Again, I recognise, but I don't get it. Beetlejuice. Elf. Is that Elf? I think. I don't know. Oh, that's Bill Murray. Scrooged. I think it's called Scrooged. I think that's what that is. Run, is it Running Man? Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he runs. I don't know if it's called Running Man or The Running or something like that. There's a guy, he runs. The Ring, original Japanese, you can tell by the guy. Ringu. Breakfast Club is a fucking suck-ass movie, man. I fucking hate Breakfast Club. It's like a classic, and then you watch it and you're like, why are all these 40-year-olds in detention? And why are they fucking saying the most inane... I feel like Breakfast Club was written by Ewan that wrote the shitty zombie film with trying really hard to have meaningful social commentary. And it just fucking stinks. Hate that movie. Friday. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That fucking guy in the wheelchair. Fucking hated him. I don't care if that's ableist to say. I fucking hated him. The Professional. Leon the Professional. Elephant Man. How fucking long is this going on? Jesus. No Country for Old Men. I was going to say Flight of the Conchords. It's absolutely not. It's Forest of Lies. Lord of the Flies. Flight of the Conchord, Forest of Lies, Lord of the Flies. Got there in the end. Piggy. The Rock. It's quite funny that he has the Rock because his broken glasses is part of the thing. And then he either falls or gets pushed and then lands on the big rock and dies. And they're all looking down like, oh shit. He's fucking dead. So the fact they got the Rock there with the smiley face, the conch shell, that's a part of it. There's a lot of elements into that one. That's quite good. Evil Dead 2 or 3. It's brown, but then... Because I think his shirt gets all muddy and brown in the third one, where it's more. It does stay more blue in the second one, I think. I don't know. It's one of the Evil Dead films. Not the first one, but one of them. Never Ending Story. Creature from the Black Lagoon. That's quite funny. I got that one. I mean, I've got the DVD of that. I like old monster movies. Let's next week maybe I'll talk about my fucking. I'll do a review of why I hated Godzilla vs Kong. Pan's Labyrinth. Clerks or Clarks. I don't know. Whatever. Don't know that one. A more ignorant me would have thought The Big Lebowski because of the guy, but I don't know. I do not know. Does it say anything with the and the hold of the thing up? Shaun of the Dead. Hey, he's got it in there. He's Shaun of the Dead. Zombies. That's the back garden scene with the thing and those two. That's a good one. Singing in the rain, I guess. I don't know. Tremors? That has a sandworm in it. I don't know. Thing. Another Kurt Russell. And the Thing. That's quite a good one with the dog thing. I don't know what that is. Reserved seat for the... not a clue. Oh. The one that everyone thought was confusing. Inception. Lord of the Rings. Fellowship of the Ring. That's quite cool. The Balrog. Again, the fact they're smiling is pretty funny. Because if someone said, Ewan, draw me a picture of Gandalf and a Balrog, like, just maybe not fighting, but like up against each other, my instinct would be big, angry, gnarly nastiness. But then to have this just cute little... And that's why people like cute shit. Chibis, fucking kawaii Hello Kitty stuff. Fucking Scott Pilgrim. Is it King's Speech, I guess? I don't know. Didn't see it, don't care about it. I know exactly what film it is, I just don't know what it's called because I never saw it, but I know what it is. Is it The Little Shop of Horrors or something? I don't know. I think that's The Jerk. Never saw it, but I'm aware. I guess the remake of The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage and the bees. Like the bees. The whole cloud of bees has a smiley face, as does the bucket. That's quite funny. Sucked. The remake fucking stunk. Amelie. Dark Crystal. Old Boy. That's pretty cool. The hallway scene with the hammer and all the fuckers. And those he obviously, watched the scene, does some doodles or like reference drawings of the people because they all look like people in the scene, which is quite cool. Like the chubby guy with no shirt. It's quite cool. Quite cool. Black Swan, Iron Giant, fucking Kick-Ass, Starship Troopers, another Jurassic Park, Beatles, Help, is it that one? I don't know. Is that Tom Hanks? My folks had a poster with Tom Hanks and a girl on a scooter, so it might be that one. I don't know. I don't care. Charlie and Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, or fucking whatever. And all the kids that die, except Charlie, I guess. Snakes on a Plane. That's quite funny. I hate that I don't know. I know, like, the bullet in the eye of the moon, but I don't know what film it's actually from. I just know the image of the thing in the moon. Oh, I guess these are like his sketches, yeah. That's quite cool, that for the end papers and stuff. His sketches that were pre-actual pieces. The Frank Bunny from Donnie Darko. Pretty cool. Yeah, man. It's almost everything you wish you could do as an artist. Like, just find one little gimmick to like latch onto, do that a bunch of times. And the fact that it's all films, so he's got almost an endless supply of reference to draw from. It's pretty great. I don't know. Fucking whatever. So I go back to drawing the zombie. So I finish my little zombie. My little Zombooni. My Zambino. I want to do at least something with this guy, but I don't know if I'll actually get around to it. I've got something I could show off. I probably will show off. Because that's all I do. I'm a big show off. Hey, look at me. Look at everything I do. Aren't I bloody... I also have something in the way of an announcement. I don't know if it counts as an announcement, really. I've got so many things to say, and I've fucking not given myself any time to actually say them. What a wally. I was going to talk more about World War Z or Z and just they could have done so much with it. I'll try to get through that. Okay, so my World War Z rant is I should do that afterwards because I'll smudge it. The book of World War Z, if you're not aware, written by Max Brooks, who wrote the Zombie Survival Guide, which is like a funny sort of like guide on how it almost would actually help you survive a zombie apocalypse. It's very practical advice considering it's almost a silly little book. Somehow I've got a signed copy. I'm not sure how. I've never met the guy or seen him. But it's a really it's obviously funny because it's like obviously it's done to actually have a guide. But he wrote a pretty genuine guide on how to survive a zombie apocalypse. And then he wrote because he's written a bunch of short zombie fiction, which I've got stacks and stacks of books of short zombie fiction because I was pretty obsessed for a little while. I got board games, video games, books, comics, fucking whatever. So he wrote World War Z, which I read in college, and I was obsessed with it instantly. And I think that's what drove me to write my shitty fucking zombies on a train thing. And obviously, zombies on a train, snakes on a plane. I was trying to go with that sort of thing. But it's a bunch of zombies on a train. Like, what else am I going to call it? So World War Z is it follows this one reporter traveling the globe after a zombie apocalypse, interacting with people who were there at the start of the zombie apocalypse, who were active during it, and who are now, getting back to life after it. So all these stories from all over the world, different countries, different socio-economic fucking backgrounds and shit. And it's really, really interesting. It goes really in depth for parts of it, and it really goes past just, oh no, there are zombies, let's fight to survive. It really does make you think a lot about, like, oh fuck, because what if this happened? What about this? And what about this and this and this? Really, really good. And in the film is Brad Pitt saves the day during a zombie apocalypse, and all the zombies are CGI, and it's terrible and bad. That's because shortly after I read World War Z, I heard that the rights had been bought by a movie company to be made into a movie, and I think right away I'd heard that it was Brad Pitt's production company, Plan B, that had bought it, and they were going to turn World War Z into a film, and I was like fucking stoked from like 2006 or something, and then I think way more than 10 years later it finally got turned into a film, and they took out, I think they bought the rights to the name and then used that because World War Z became quite a popular book because zombies were becoming popular, and The Walking Dead was a thing, and so it was a thing and a thing and a thing. And then they just turned the film into like generic action. One person saves the day because he's got to save his wife and kids and a thing. And there's even the bit, I think, where he infects himself with... This is me having watched it once and vaguely remembering parts of it. I think he infects himself with the zombie virus in order to get past some zombies or something. And then he just has enough, of himself left that he can get the vaccine in him, and then he does, and he saves the day, and it's there's none of that in the book. The book is the reporter telling stories, like interviewing people and telling stories of what actually happened. So it's everyone else in the world that are the heroes or whatever for all the parts they played in, dealing with the zombie apocalypse. And the film was Brad Pitt saves the day and saves his family with all these convoluted things, like his daughter with her fucking teddy bear or whatever. Just shit, just a pile of shit. And the zombies, like I say, they all run and they form basically bodies, moving body waves that fucking crash against walls and flow, and that's just ridiculous. It wasn't even good. I can't enjoy it because of having loved the book so much. And there's sometimes they make books into movies and you go, oh, that sucked, it wasn't as good as the book. And that's, 9.999 times out of 10 that's going to happen, because it's almost impossible to accurately portray what you can fit into a book into a movie. So obviously I had that going on, so I was never really going to enjoy it as much as I could have. But even then, trying to watch it as just a film, because I did that with the Evil Dead remake. Evil Dead, a brilliant classic film. I love. A lot of people's favourite is the second one. Mine's the first, personally, and then the third one is just silly, and you take it for what it is. And then they remade it a bunch of years ago, like a completely new Evil Dead movie. That is basically a remake of the first, but it does have its own sort of stuff going on. And I watched that as its own movie, and I was able to enjoy it as its own movie, and I quite liked it for what it was. I didn't expect to, but I liked it more than I thought I would. And then World War Z was a big pile of shit. Anyway, Wan Speaks. I showed them off in a previous video, and I found these. I was digging through a box of old drawings and shit, where I found the Zilla comic, and these were in there, which as I've said, the original ones were drawn in MS Paint and just put up onto the internet just because it was easier to do it that way. But then I remembered, having found these, I drew a bunch of them out in pen on paper to put into like some kind of Ewan comic portfolio thing. And so I've got a bunch of them from 2010 maybe, or earlier. Probably far earlier than that. And this one I've turned sideways because I know exactly which one it is. And it's really, really, really funny. But so this is... is there a vegetarian option? I will fetch it. Goes away, comes back with a gun, shoots him in the head. Brilliant. I don't agree with that nowadays, because even then I didn't really agree with it. Is there a vegetarian option? Oh, yeah, sure, these are our vegetarian options. Completely valid that you choose not to eat meat. No problem. But it's funny to say, oh, sure, I'll go fetch it. And the fact that he went away, because you might remember in the video I showed them, where I was like half-assed drawing them, it was, he's the waiter's at the table and he just pulls out a gun and shoots him. Whereas this one, I didn't realise my original intent was, oh yeah, I'll just go get it. And then he actually goes away. So he thinks, oh, I'm going to get my vegetarian option. And he comes back with a gun. Brilliant. He's got his little fucking napkin. What is that? Tea towel? I don't know. Make poverty history. This was one that was on my list that I couldn't remember. There was quite a few on the list. I couldn't remember what the joke was. I just had notes. And I had to sort of guess, like, oh, I probably meant this as the joke. Make poverty history. But then what will I make jokes about? He's so dumb he doesn't know, because all my jokes are about poverty, which they're not. But that's quite funny. There's the blackheads one. I was pretty accurate on that one. I know, I hate blackheads. See, she's got like spots. They've both got spots, two girls talking to each other. And then this guy overheard them and is sad because he's got a black head. This could appear racist, but it's not. The intent is not remotely racist. It's because it's comical that there's a guy with a black head. Like if you saw him full body, he'd have white hands, so it'd probably really, really look like blackface. But it's a play on words. It's clever. It's a really clever, like, twisting of preconceptions of what the word blackhead to mean. As the put the telly on. I think I was pretty spot on with that one. Look how chuffed he is with himself. Melting, I had that one. Pretty on point, nail on the head. Melting. This was one. The note on the list was Bombay mix, and I had no clue what my joke was for that one. But it was, you are now the proud owner. Oh, congratulations! You are now the proud owner of boxes and boxes of Bombay mix. And he's just got boxes and boxes of Bombay mix. Doesn't know what to do with them. Not one of my best. I'll say that much. Not one of my best. See, I thought the vanilla scone was just going to be literally a picture of a vanilla scone. I think I may have done the Tom Cruise in paint and layered it on top of a picture of a vanilla scone. But see, because he's in a film called Vanilla Sky, so it's Tom Cruise in a vanilla scone instead of a vanilla sky. That's the joke. Always wear your seatbelt. That was a pretty obvious one. You all right there, buddy? No, yeah, you just threw up in my mouth a little bit. We had that one, okay. The shrug hole. I had that one. What you doing? Shrug. Shrug hole. Giraffe Neck Man, winner of the Lamest Superhero Awards 2006. Giraffe Neck Man. Hands in his pockets. He's not really happy. And this was... I don't know if I had the no face bit. Or maybe I did. I don't remember. In space, no one can hear you scream. With no face, no one can... Oh, I might have just had with no face, no one can hear you scream. And then I maybe left out the space bit in the notes. I don't know. But he's got no face, no one can hear him scream. This was a completely separate one. This wasn't on the list or anything. I had this. This is my friend Sam. He has katanas and stuff because he's into that weeb shit. And so this is, you can see it was made in paint and printed out. I was going to use this character and do a whole series, but I made one. So it was Underpants Sam in his underpants, got a katana, swish, swish, whash, and then he's got like bloody bandages on his head. That's, I don't know, kind of funny. I play bass, whatever, you get it. Put the cat out. I don't know if that was on the list, but it's pretty funny because, you know, the phrase put the cat out, like put the cat outside so it can do its shit or whatever. But it's on fire. Put the cat out. Oh, with a fire extinguisher. It's just like riding a bicycle. And then there's this one. Women have rights to punch. If you recall, I laughed so hard I cried. Legitimately, I had tears coming out of my eyes last time showing this because I thought it was him saying "shut up." Women have rights to shut up, but no. The original was a step further than that. Was women saying women have rights to, and the guy just fucking twatting her in the face. Women have rights to. Fuck you. Fucking shut up. Women's rights. So that's some old, you know, some old shit. Fucking, funny old. What a funny old world we live in. Funny old web we weave. Funny old webbity weave. What was I going to do? I was going to Tipex out this footy foot. But yeah, I just feel zombies. I still might. I'm going to talk about videos I plan on making. There's about 15 I still haven't done. But I was thinking about doing like a video of me doing an open letter to zombies. And the video would be me writing, and then over the top you hear me saying, "Dear zombies, what happened? You used to be so good and fearsome, but then The Walking Dead, and then fucking World War Z, and then you could have been so great. We could have had so much fun together. We could have been the best of friends, had such a great relationship, but you fucked it up. You got too cocky, too ahead of yourself, and now look at you. What a mess you've gotten yourself into." I loved zombies so much. They were so special to me, and then they just got fucked. Man, it's really annoying when that happens. It happens all the time, you know, but you just never think it's going to happen to you. It doesn't matter at the end of the day, does it? It's whatever. Because I can still enjoy zombies. I've still got all my old films. Do you know one of my favourites is, I think its European or UK title is Zombie Flesh Eaters. But then in some places it's Zombie 2, I think. Because I believe the original, it was set, or it's made and set just after the original Dawn of the Dead. So it was supposedly, I think even in some places, Dawn of the Dead, the original, was referred to as zombie. I believe, from what I can remember of my limited research I actually did, I think that was the case. That maybe in the European markets, the original Dawn of the Dead was called Zombie, and it had that cool poster or whatever. And then an Italian-made film came out, which was Zombie Flesh Eaters, which was referred to originally as Zombie 2, because it was supposed to be like an unauthorized sequel to Dawn of the Dead, which it has almost nothing in common with. It is its own film. But it also, this isn't necessarily why I like it, but it's just a cool thing that they put in the film, is a zombie actually has a fight with a shark underwater. And it's a real shark and a real person in zombie makeup actually underwater on the bottom of a lake or a river or something. It's an actual scene in a film, is a zombie. No CGI. This was made in the 70s, so no CGI or anything. But a zombie has a... Look it up if you want. I think that scene is probably online somewhere. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And then there's a really, really cool scene where... I'm just going to, spoilers... if you haven't seen a film from the 70s, where this woman... it's really funny. This woman's in a house, and there's a zombie outside the house. Like, I think zombies are trying to break in through the door. I think she, tries to put, a cabinet up against the door, and then the zombies break through the wood, and they grab her, and they're trying to pull her out through the hole in the door. And it happens slowly, and it's all filmed properly. They slowly manage to, she's pulling back, they're pulling forward. They grab her, they pull her towards the door, and because they've broken through the door, if this is her eye, there's a splinter, a shard of wood of the door sticking out, and she's slowly moving towards it, and she's screaming, her eyes are wide open, and she's like, no, and the wood goes into her eye, and she pulls her head a certain way, and it goes, pulls her eye out. And it's obviously effects, no computer effect, it's actual physical effects. It's not real, they didn't actually stab a woman's eye out for the film, obviously. But that's a bit in the film. I think that's really, really cool that they did that. I think it's regarded as one of those shocking scenes in a film or whatever. I think it came out around in a similar time as, is it Cannibal Holocaust or whatever, where they apparently actually tore a turtle apart, an actual turtle, for the film, which I think is not on, really. Plus, if you're going to make a film with a scene like that, part of the fun would be to make a turtle that looks so realistic that you pull it apart and people think it's a real turtle. But it's pretty widely known that they just tore the fuck out of a real turtle. I think they tore it out of its shell, which, its shell is actually a part of its body. It's not like you can just take it off. It's all linked together and shit. So I'm not really... Even when I first heard about it, I never wanted to see it because of that. Certain scenes I'm okay with seeing if they have realistic violence or real violence. I'm to a point, especially a younger Ewan is yeah, fucking I'll watch that, whatever. But even back then, a little edgy Ewan was no, I don't want to see them pull a turtle apart. What the fuck, man? Make a turtle that looks realistic enough that people think it's real, but then leave the turtles alone. Just... What the fuck did a turtle do to you? Fuck you, piece of shit. Look at the little zombie go! Oh, little running zombie man. That's actually really cool. I quite like that. It's pretty funny. Not funny because I'm laughing at little people. Fuck you. Okay, so here's my, not an announcement, but it's a thing, an idea I had. So this is episode 37, I think, around about there. I'll find out when I edit it and find the latest one I did, or the previous one I did. So for the, as I've said, episode 40 will mark 100 podcasts, 100 actual This Is a Podcast episodes, from 60 Ewan Sucks to 40 Ewan Shmewans. And then I might change it after that into something else. We discussed it, didn't we? Ewan Untitled / Ewan Cunt. I was thinking, so it'd be quite cool to have a white background and have Ewan Untitled appear on the screen, and then animate like a red pen scribbling out the itled and drawing in the C and underlining it as like the opening to the podcast, like a little, just a few seconds, just Ewan Untitled, scribble, 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 C, underline, dot, Ewan Cunt. Like, that would be quite funny for the opening. Anyway, so for the 100th episode, what I thought I would do is have a burger party. I think I had a note somewhere. Oh, look at my notes. Replace the word money with monkey everywhere in the world. Do like a, on computer systems, do a search and replace. Just search the word money, replace it with the word monkey. Literally all you need to do is shove a K in there and it says monkey. And then I think the world will start to become a happier place, because whenever you're having like money troubles or financial issues or things come up about deficits and the world fucking economy and shit, every time you see what would have been the word money, you're seeing the word monkey, and then you'll just start thinking of monkeys and you'll laugh because it'll be really, really funny. So that's one of my that was a note, that's a plan. And also 100th episode burger party. This is the plan. If you've watched this far into the episode and you're still paying attention to me, for the 100th episode, it will probably be the camera facing me as opposed to just facing the desk, and I'll still be doodling and stuff. But I'm going to have at least one really decent burger. I might do it myself, or I might order one, I'm not sure yet. Maybe some fries, a drink, and that'll be the video, is me talking to the camera, eating a burger, a nice burger, maybe a couple of burgers, we'll see. And I figure the idea being, everyone watching now who will probably watch the 100th episode should do the same. I might do it as a live. I'm not quite sure because I still haven't broken the boundary of doing lives yet. I'm so up in the air about it because I don't know. It's just something I haven't done yet, and so I'm apprehensive about doing it. So for this 100th episode, it will be a recorded video of me eating a burger. But what I intend is for you all to have a burger as you're watching it. So whatever time of day, and that's another thing, if it's live, only certain people would be able to see it live. And so for the rest of them, they'd have to watch the recorded video afterwards anyway. So it makes sense to just have a recorded video for me personally. So everyone, so this is me now saying, in a couple of weeks' time, it will be episode 40 of this podcast, will be the 100th episode of the podcast or whatever. It's going to be a burger party. I'm going to be sat eating a burger, and I would like all of you who plan to watch to have a burger too. Any kind of burger, just a small little patty in a bun with a bit of ketchup or something, or a big extravagant fucking barbecue rib thing, or a veggie burger, or just a bit of a ham sandwich, maybe. That could count as a burger. I don't know. Something. Just have some kind of burger in front of you as you're watching the video, just so there's some kind of link. So it's like we're all watching this video, eating burgers together. I don't know how or why I came up. Maybe I haven't eaten a burger in a while, and I just figured, I fancy a burger. Oh, maybe I can eat a burger for my 100th episode, and it could be a burger party. So let's do that. Let's all have a burger party. Let's eat burgers, watch the 100th episode. I might take some kind of do a poll beforehand to do suggestions on talking topics and maybe a couple of things to doodle. So there is a little bit more sort of interaction. Because if I do take suggestions of topics, obviously I'll only be able to get to a few of them. But if you happen to be the person whose topic I bring up or whose suggestion I draw, you could be watching it with your burger while I'm eating my burger, and I'm talking about the thing that you proposed or drawing the thing that you put forward. And it's like a thing, yeah? Burger party. So in a couple of weeks' time, keep your eye out for episode 40/episode 100. Have a burger ready. Plan on watching it. Have a burger ready and eat a burger while we hang out, but not really hang out. I don't know. It's just something. Because otherwise, what am I going to do for my 100th episode? I'll get my knob out. I don't know. Whatever. Draw a portrait of one of my list. Just whatever. Have a fucking burger. 100th episode. Burger party. Tiny zombies, and it's all good.